Today I'm heading to Kent to go to Campus Camera. I want to check in on what services they still offer. Their website shows them still having a film lab, still repairing cameras and everything, but they're old school, so who knows the last time they updated their website. Of course I could have emailed or called, but it's Saturday, sun's out, so I'm going to ride my bike there and talk to them in person. It's not that nice out really. I mean, compared to what we had, it's like 41 degrees. So, still dressed fairly warm, but need to get a ride in. Want to run this errand too. More on what I'm going to talk to him about in a minute here. Got to be careful down here. It's fake St. Patrick's Day. I hate fake St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is on Tuesday, you dumbasses. You can wear green and get drunk on any day you want. St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th. Down power lines. Actually, that has me wondering what the trail is going to be like, because it was gusts up over 50 miles an hour yesterday. It was crazy. So, tons of people without power. I rarely lose it because I'm on such a busy street, and there's not a lot of trees. But yeah, I didn't think about that. So first thing, I want to see if their lab's still going. They say they offer film development for $5 a roll just for the negatives. That's a great deal. You know, obviously I do my own black and white, but I don't think I'm going to get back into doing my own color unless I was to open the lab at the storefront. When I was doing a lot, you know, I'd need to do enough volume for other people because the chemicals don't last that long. And again, I could, some of the newer stuff, the monobath stuff, maybe it lasts longer, I'm not sure. But I still want to find out. And I want to see what their stuff looks like, if they do. So I also might test their scanning services. What I always did was develop my own film and scan it, or get color, just the negatives developed and scan them, or slide film if it was that, and scan them myself. The reason I fell off with analog is my scanner stopped working properly. So I made other videos about looking into all the new stuff like negative supply and all the film carriers and stuff they sell and holders. I've just kind of had a my brain's kind of frozen on what to buy and when. So I'd kind of like to see what their scanning services look like. But also next week, coming back to the studio, because I ran into or hung out with Susan, who used to work there today. She's going to bring back the old Nikon. I think it's a Coolscan 8000. It sounds like you have to do a bunch of stuff to get it to work with modern Macs, use different software, and the thing hasn't been turned on in a decade probably. But if I could get that to work, that would be awesome. So I would do it myself, but I'd like to compare it to what, you know, this lab does. So that's reason number 2 for heading out here to campus to chat. And then the third thing is the camera out of my bag is my Minolta X-700. And as I said, I've fallen off from analog for a while. Have half a roll in there. So I took it out to get myself started again last night. And the light meter doesn't seem to be working. I think it might just be the LED light, because in aperture priority it would still fire sometimes. So they used to repair cameras and they didn't charge to look at them. Most places charge money just to look at your camera. I think Dodd required a $300 deposit or $600 just to start looking at it. So I can't imagine it's a camera worth getting fixed, unfortunately. I love the thing. It's my second X700. My first one died also. That one, the shutter wouldn't even work after a while. Completely died. But the thing is, I've fallen so far out of the loop that camera's values to me were so low. I was scooping everything up when no one cared about film photography. And I don't say that to be cool, it's just a fact. So before I wouldn't even, you know, the X700 died, I had paid $25 for it. And then I was at an estate sale and there was a $45 kit with a bunch of lenses and a bag and all kinds of stuff. So it wouldn't have been worth me to pay to get them fixed back then. But so I need to look it up and see what these kind of cameras go for now. Still not might not be worth it, because I do have a fully functional Minolta X-700 I, which, although older, is a more pro level Minolta, and I love it. The thing I used to do is carry both Minoltas, one with color, one with black and white. But a friend has just given me a Nikon F3, which I think is the greatest manual focus film camera of all time. So maybe I just do X-700 F3 from now on. So yeah, to go back to that point, that's part of the research too, to see what does it cost to get like a CLA or an old camera fixed up, and what are these old cameras worth now. Reason I won't sell my collection is I can't guarantee it. You know, you run a few rolls of film through an old camera, it's fine, and then on the third roll it dies sometimes, so it's just not fair to sell them. And for what the as-is price of not working cameras, I'd rather just keep them on my shelf because they're cool, you know, so there's that. So yeah, this video is a little all over the place because I'm talking all camera tech stuff from my bike instead of from the studio, but trying to get this channel rolling, trying to get the studio rolling, trying to get the storefront rolling, so just doing things how I can get them done right now. Also, if you happen to be watching this from the bike channel, I use the collaboration feature, which this is posted on my photography channel, but allows me to, I think, surface it in the subscriptions feed to the other channel. So, and if you're a real OG around here, you know that this is how the bike channel started. I would be riding and talking about cameras, especially during the pandemic, but the only comments I ever got weren't about my photography stuff, they were always about the bikes. So that channel pivoted and became a bike channel, and I started a new camera channel that doesn't get a lot of love. I make videos here and there when I feel like it. With the storefront space I'm trying to do, I'm hoping to do more of that, but we'll see. Also, wherever you're watching from, March 20th at 5 p.m. having an art show with some of the guys from Joy Machines in the storefront space. So if you feel like it, come by, check out some artwork, buy some analog film or some of the other random stuff I have around. Like I said, not selling a lot of the SLRs and stuff like that because I just don't trust them yet, but maybe down the road. Not doing lab work yet, but it's part of this mission to see what they charge, see how they're doing it, decide if I feel like I can do it, see if there's a demand for it. Campus camera is like the only place around, without going all the way to Cleveland, still doing this kind of work, but I just don't think people in Akron and Cuyahoga Falls are thinking of them. So maybe it's even a partnership if they're interested. We'll see. What's the best way? Double branch. I should take a picture with my camera. I got a camera with me. Well, got a lot of cameras with me. Got the R8, X-700, cell phone, GoPro. Light meter is definitely not working. I mean, I can't see it at least. But it wouldn't take the first picture. I turned it off and back on again, then it took it. So did I just have a bad electrical connection somewhere? Why would it take the picture and not light up the light meter though? No idea what's up with this thing. It's a bummer. Love the X-700, but might be the end of it. Get through the rest of this roll. What am I at? 27. Try and get it through the rest of the photos so I could at least get a full roll developed. So another reason I fell off with analog photography and a lot of hobby photography, besides the scanning issues, is the bike YouTube channel. I'd been shooting analog for, I don't know, over a decade after I got back into it. I'm old enough that I did it first go round before digital, but I just feel like I've always liked to have a creative outlet, even when I started being a professional photographer, and the analog thing was kind of that different thing to do for me. But when I started doing all the bike YouTube videos, that just kind of took over as my creative hobby. You know, making a video every week. It's been 6 years, which is crazy. Tree down. I could have hopped this one without the camera in my hand. And one cool thing about the bike stuff is it's led to so much community. Not that I don't have camera friends, and you know, I talk to people about cameras at bike events, but it's almost been the bike stuff that's always got me into those kind of conversations and hanging out with people and talking about cameras. So yeah, I just really leaned into that the last half decade over, because it just kept growing and was having such a positive impact on my life. I'm just really getting to the point where I'm missing a lot of the camera stuff. So the storefront thing is a big motivation to get back into it. So one thing I like about having this second outlet too is the other channel, it's a bike channel. There's a video about riding bikes every single week. There's a live stream almost every week about bikes. And I don't feel restricted by that. I enjoy it. But it doesn't make sense to do something totally different on there. The audience is there for bikes. Even when they say they're not, if I make something slightly different, you see that it doesn't get viewed. And like I said, I don't feel restricted. I make what I want over there, but within the bike realm. So this channel, being small and not being niched down yet, I like the total freedom of I post videos whenever I want. They're going to be loosely based on cameras, but I just don't feel like I have to worry about it at all. If I want to make a quick vlog like this, I do it. If I want to make a well-produced video with my expensive gear, I do it. If I get busy over the summer and don't make anything, I don't make anything, you know. How weird. Kent looks pretty quiet. I thought this was going to be another bumpin' fake St. Patrick's Day thing. Huh. So Campus Camera is on this road, but this road gets busy and commercial. So we are going to go and find a way around. Also, all my light went away. It got cloudy. I don't like black and white and clouds. Need those bright, contrasty, or dark shadows. I always liked this building. I remember photographing it when they were still building it with, what is that, P30 from Ferrania. First order of business will be just to change the battery. Because I keep turning it off and on and getting some photos. Again, that doesn't make sense why the LED's not working, but before I do anything else, that probably makes the most sense. You know, if your light's not working, change the light bulb first. Well, this is going to be interesting. I had E400 in here with a red filter on. Why did I put the red filter on? Maybe I slipped that on when I have no idea. So hopefully the first half of the roll was shot right. Second half of the roll, no idea. I do not remember putting this in here. At least I had the camera set to the right ISO. The second half is going to be weird. So my guess is I took the lens off that camera maybe to adapt it to one of my digital cameras or something, and then just threw that 35 on and it had the red filter on it, and then I don't know, a year or two passed and I forgot. So it's from Film Photography Project, so their films don't always come in a box. If I had a box, I would have had on the film door, I would have had the little tab in there so I knew what the film was, but oh well, who knows if there's anything on this roll anyways. But let's see if they develop slide film now at Campus Camera. I thought I was seeing if they develop black and white. The lab I had used forever, they don't do film at all anymore. But the first thing they discontinued was slide film, so that's why I don't know if they'll be doing that here. But, you know, slide film was getting discontinued left and right for a while, and now it's a little more prevalent again, as Kodak has brought some back. I'm feeling like this is going to be bike path.
We'll try to piece together. You're looking for like a DSLR? Yeah. Sure. Do you need something written out? This doesn't have the back like this on it. Yeah, you've got basically the same body.
So I got myself some Fix and a couple rolls of Tri-X. Realized I was out of Tri-X. I'll probably put it out for sale, but hope it doesn't sell and use it myself. So they only charge $5 a roll for process only, but they're only doing C41, so color negative film. This is slide film, so it's E6, and they don't do black and white, which is why I picked up some Fixer so I could develop my own again. I don't trust my Fix. They've been sitting around for that long, but I was asking them about Rodinal, which I have as a developer, and they said that stuff lasts forever. He said he'd use it after 20 years. Mine's only like 3 or 4 years old, so probably 4 or 5, but either way. Oh, a hair in my lens. I also met a guy in there who was shopping for new lenses who knew the YouTube channel and Dirty River Bicycle Works. So I invited him out to the show next week, so yeah, kind of cool. Told you, even when I do photography stuff, it comes back to bikes. When did that building go in? So he said they have a $30 bench fee if they fix something in-house, which sounds reasonable. I'm not quite sure if that's just their fee to look at it. I asked about CLA and I didn't get a good answer. The employee I was talking to when it was about that, he's just part-time now. So I think I might call him up on Monday, talk to the owner a little more, get a better idea of what it costs to get different camera issues fixed and exactly what they do in-house and what they send out. I didn't really quite catch all of that. But either way, glad I stopped out. It was also interesting, there was a younger guy in there who straight up wanted to get into photography and just walked into a store and was asking about cameras. I just, in my mind, don't picture that anymore with all the information on the internet. I mean, that's the great thing about still having local shops, is you can go in and get that knowledge and hold and, you know, look at stuff. He was looking at some cheaper used DSLRs, and then the guy pulled out a Canon R100 and he was like, we also have these, this is the newer technology but the lower end of it. And I don't know, I don't know, I guess I do so much research. Even when I did still get my cameras always at a local shop, not that I never do now, they're just, besides campus isn't really as many options. So I guess that's also the difference when you're buying at entry level. When I bought my Canon Rebel XT, I probably didn't know what everything I was buying meant, all the specs. When I upgraded that, I think I was already looking for 2 years watching what came out with every model, and when I finally got the 7D, I knew what every single number meant and every single spec on that camera. So I will figure out where to get the slide film developed and I'll have a video on that if anything turns out. I also have still been working on the Maui video. I finally got all my photos processed, so I'll have a video about photography in Hawaii with a bad case of the flu. So yeah, part of the reason I haven't made that yet is it's been hard to talk to the camera. Just been coughing still. So yeah, then we'll have the show next Friday at 5, the 20th. Come out. But I think I'll probably make a video doing an update on how that went, talking about if the storefront seems like something we're going to do, the pop-up hours, and then if we'll do other events there. So that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. Obviously a lot coming up, but thanks as always for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace.